Carlos Contreras Legaspi para ESPN Deportes con Paddy Pimblett, que estará peleando por el título interino de las 155 libras en contra de Justin Gaethje. Patrick, you proved everyone wrong. You're fighting for a belt this time. Obviously, you're looking for the undisputed, but first step is Justin Gaethje. How are you feeling?
Amazing. You know what I mean? Something I've dreamed of for years, and I've spoken into happening. I always said this was going to happen, and this is just vindication for half a lifetime of hard work. And when I first started training, when I was 15, it'll nearly be 16 years to the day when I fight for this belt. And I always said from day one I was going to be a UFC world champion, and people laughed at me, but here we are.
Well, fight is coming in January, and many people, ever since you defeated Chandler, many people thought that Gaethje was going to be your next step. Even was a contender fight, or now in the situation it's an interim title. I guess you've been studying here. I guess you've been watching him. What do you expect of the fight against Justin?
Well, I thought I was going to fight Justin in October. I'll be honest. I thought I'd be on the Abu Dhabi card and fight Justin, but it just didn't come off. So I'm not going to lie. I've only started just preparing for Justin. I was preparing for Ilia. I thought I'd end up fighting Ilia, so I was preparing for him for a couple of weeks, and then I found out like 2-3 days before the announcement it's going to be Justin, and we've been preparing for Justin. We're getting a game plan together, and that's what's going to win us the fight.
We just had the announcement a couple of days ago, but how long you been training? How long you been in camp for this fight?
I thought I was going to fight on Jan 24th anyway, so I've been training for about 3 weeks, but a week of that was in Qatar, so you can't really. I couldn't really diet and stuff while I was in Qatar, but I've been training. I never not train. Well, it's just different when you're in camp. You're more active in camp, but I'm never not training. I train 6 days a week.
How crazy was that Qatar week? Because you were cornering one of your teammates. Ilia was cornering his brother. Arman was fighting. How crazy was that week? Like to see all these contenders and obviously the champ there. Like I guess you have a little exchange of words. But how crazy was that week?
Yeah, it was great. Obviously I had two teammates having the debuts, and one won, one lost. We win as a team, we lose as a team. Luke announced himself onto the world when he got that finish, and he's going to be climbing them featherweight ranks. He's going to come for the belt soon enough. Trust me on that. And obviously I bumped into Ilia at one point. I don't even think it was him what said anything. I think it was one of his entourage. And then I don't think I bumped into Arman, but I seen him at one point getting a group picture, so I went like that behind it. But Arman's a tit, you know what I mean? Arman's an absolute idiot. Ilia's the man, so Ilia's who I'm going to fight. Arman just talks a big game and he's shit.
You're used to a lot of to face the criticism of the people on social media and everything. But what do you think about Arman's position right now? Like what all the stuff he's saying? Like he defeated Dan Hooker, but obviously the plan was you against Ilia at some point. Because it was pretty clear that was what the UFC wanted.
Arman's made his own bed, lad. He can lie in it. He dug his own grave. Pulled out of a title fight the night before. Punched a fan on his walkout. Headbutted someone at a weigh-in, and he's beat Dan Hooker, who I like Dan Hooker, but he can't grapple to save his life. You know what I mean? He's beat Dariush, who looks about 65 years of age, and he beat Charles Oliveira, but he never. I thought Charles Oliveira won that fight, and so did a lot of people. So he hasn't done that much himself to deserve this. So he thinks that because his dad's a millionaire that he can pay his way into things like this. Doesn't work like that with the UFC. Sit down, shut up, do as you're told.
Yeah, well, and it's obviously the thing what happened in January didn't have a lot for his cause, and well, obviously for you, what do you expect the fight with Gaethje after the win? When do you think the schedule will help? Obviously you're thinking about it. When what do you think about the schedule? Like, I don't know if you heard something from the UFC when Ilia is going to be ready, May, maybe the summer.
No idea. He's got a lot going on in his personal life, lad, and I wish him nothing but the best with it. That's nothing to do with me and him fighting. That's his family, and I hope everything goes well. I hope that goes perfect for him. All I care about is getting him in that octagon and fighting him. Anything in his personal life, I hope it goes well. But you never know. If he doesn't come back by June, July, then he might have to vacate his belt, and I'll become undisputed champ without even fighting.
And if that happens, or even if the UFC would entertain that fight between him and Islam at 170, that's something that he even said, like, who would you like to face? Because certainly we have the option of Arman and Charles against Max are fighting for the BMF. So that could also be a good contender, right?
I think it'd do more for me legacy fighting Charles or Max, and I love watching both of them fight. I've said for years now, me versus Charles Oliveira would be an amazing fight, so I'd love to fight Charles Oliveira, but that's if he can get past Max Holloway. So Arman can just sit in line and do as he's told. He doesn't do as he's told enough because he thinks his dad can pay his way out of things because he's got a lot of money, but Arman can eat shit, lad. I'm sick of hearing about him. He's an absolute beaut.
Well, Charles against Max are going to face a couple of weeks after you and Justin. Just how different is the style? How to prepare a fight against Justin or a fight against Ilia that you were like obviously studying and preparing?
I think Ilia has better grappling. That's the difference, and Ilia has a different style of boxing. So, but it all molds in well together. You know what I mean? I'm going to have my breakdown done at Charles of Justin over the next few days, and then we're going to have the perfect game plan to beat him. We're already putting it together, and that's how we win. We use our game plan, we use our fight IQ, and I don't see him getting past the third round.
It's been a rivalry growing between you and Ilia since 2022. What stage you feel you are? Because obviously you had like very heated moments in the presser and the altercation in London. But at what stage of the rivalry you are right now? Like, because I feel like you have more respect for each other right now, like as fighters.
I definitely have more respect for him. You know what I mean? Because when he started all that shit back then, I didn't even know who he was. When he tried to attack me in the hotel, I didn't know who he was. I genuinely did not know who Ilia Topuria was, and I didn't think he'd be this good. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that he was just using my name to get big off, and he did. He used my name to get more well known and to have more people know who he was. But he's a very good fighter, lad, and even though I don't like him, I wouldn't lie and say he's not. You know what I mean? And he does that sometimes about me. But I have got respect for him as a fighter, but not as a person.
Well, Paddy, you have a very exciting fight ahead of you in January, and obviously what could come after that. Obviously the fans are going to be watching, so hope you have a great one on January 24th.
You know that, fella. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Paddy Pimblett por el título interino de las 155 libras en contra de Justin Gaethje.